Hello everybody, welcome to Sold Exclamation Point. This is our late night Sunday edition so I can get it shipped out tonight and not tomorrow episode. Alright, so first up, I got everything in here. I'm starting to sell sweatshirts already. It seems a little early for me. Usually first week in August I see an uptick in sweatshirts. I suppose I only had 3, so that might just be randomness. But about the first week in August, sweatshirts, especially NCAA, but really any sports will start to really spike in your sales. So if you're one of those people that like to time your auctions, waiting for it to get cold is probably not a good idea because people want to have their sweatshirt for when it gets cold, and they're preparing for the start of the school year. And if you actually look at retail stores, they start prepping the floor, like a big box store, they start prepping the floor for winter or late fall in August. So people actually start buying, people are used to buying sweatshirts in August and September. All right, first up we had 2 Gophers sweatshirts sold. Got this real nice black Minnesota Gophers with the mascot, and I always like the mascot logo. It's not a vintage piece. Another one, not a vintage piece either. Manufactured in the last 10 years. But a nice sewn script patch. Little flare on the sleeve. You know, I don't think it offers that much of a design feature, but a little flare. 41 for those 2. Here's a really cool one. This is St. Thomas, which is a small school in Minnesota. Let me move over so the lights aren't blinding you. But this is really cool. It's just got that. This is vintage. It's got that green color, green sweatshirt with a purple collar. The school colors are not green and purple. It's just that 90s, let's make ridiculous colors regardless of the school and what their colors are. So this is really cool. I thought this would be a pretty quick sale. You're just not going to find this stuff. So if you see this stuff and you're like, that's not the colors of the school, that's ridiculous. It's green. And, well, the colors are purple, so I guess that, but they're not green. Pick it up. I mean, it's different. It's different, especially if it is definitely 90s. Definitely pick it up. It's different enough, and there's not enough of it to be had, so people will buy them from you. That went for 30. So that went for 30. So the 2 Gophers, contemporary, proper colors. Now those were newer and Tommies was older, but got 20 piece for those, 30 for the Tommies. Here we got this really cool Nike Gonzaga. It's it's reversible basketball jersey. It's red mesh underneath. That's pretty cool. And since they're always in the tournament every year, there you go. They're always in tournament every year. Always a good buy. If you want gear for somebody to root for. 35 for the jersey. Now I really like this one. This is Nebraska Huskers. 3-peat. I'm not sure the year. I'm gonna have to look at when they won back-to-back. I want to say they won back-to-back. They won one in the 90s, but then they won another one in the early 2000s. But I don't follow college football, so could be completely wrong. The only thing I know is I love Tommy Fraser. That's literally the only college athlete that I ever, cared about and still remembered. I love the way he played. And we got a muscle tee, Nike muscle tee for Oregon Ducks. And that went for 17. So next up, our variation listing for the Prizm Draft, 2014 Prizm Draft. Sold 4 commons rookies, although I would argue Trey Waynes is a star. $8 for those 4. My guess is that somebody completing a set. If the players don't make any sense other than, someone building a set and they need those 4. That's kind of cool. I bought a couple boxes of Topps Embossed 94.95. Yeah, 94.95. Looking for a gold Jordan. I found a gold Jordan. I sold a gold Jordan, but I used that gold Jordan to put it in a variation listing. I knew that would sell quick. And what I decided to do is I decided to sell the base and the gold together for each star player. I didn't do, I think I did everybody I had a gold of. So a lot of them are just $1. I was hoping originally that I would sell 2, 3, 4 at a time. I think I've only sold 3 outside of the Jordan, and always 1 player at a time. So $5. Reggie Miller is the winner today. So base and gold. But sometimes you got to play with it. You know, you make the listing, see what happens. If it doesn't work, then you're like, okay, maybe that's kind of weird. If it does work, then you do it again. And the Smoky Collection, these are 2 classic cards. Jeff Stupan, who was a pretty decent pitcher, and Mike Hickey, who was not a pitcher nor pretty decent. So those were cool. So 2 Smoky Collection, $14. You got a T-Wolves New Era, size 8. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Mitchell and Ness New Era, size 8. Got the nice little, I'm selling stuff with flare today. A nice little flare in the front of the bill. It's always a nice little ad. Timberwolves went for 27, so not too bad. NASCAR racing. I really don't pick up this kind of stuff, but this happened to be mine. I must have got it for $1. And it was, or I got it in a lot, and it was new. That went for 12, so that's why I don't pick them up. Brand new, you know, with the cardboard in it, just kind of generic NASCAR. I thought this was cool. That might have been why I bought it, with all the flags. But it probably came in a lot. But yeah, $12. You're not gonna go crazy. I really don't know what to look for when it comes to NASCAR. I'll buy it once in a while if I think it particularly looks really cool. Program. I have a lot of programs, so I'll sell them once in a while. That should tell you something about the sell-through rate. It's not good. $10. 1988 Twins program. Homer Hankies. So this is 87. Whoop whoop. These sell. What did I get this for? I have a variation of towels and hankies. $7. You know, I'm at the point where these are so plentiful. They don't sell fast, even though I got them priced cheap. They don't really sell in quantity. I'm going to be out of the Homer Hanky business pretty quick. I don't know. Maybe I still have the listing, and the listing has sales in it. I just selling one for $7. You know, so that Reggie Miller wasn't a great sale, because now I got to package up a $5 sale. Same thing with $7 sale. I was happy about the Prizm, because we're up to 8. Now we're getting to where, like, all right, that's cool. Those are cards I have in bulk, so that's good. But I might be out of the Homer Hanky business. Not sure. I'll probably get a submission with like 100 Homer Hankies, and I'll remain in the business. New Mexico State Pennant, probably late 60s. Had the tassel. So a good way to date pennants. This is not my information, but the Felt Fanatic information. He's on Instagram. Definitely follow him. He's a really good guy. He has a shop in Salem, Massachusetts. But I asked him about tassel. He says, you know, if it doesn't have tassels, it's unlikely to be pre-1970. But sometimes some of the tassels did go over to 1970. Based on the lot I got this on, yeah, it's real late 60s or early 70s. And the reason why I was able to date that really well is because everything in that lot was from the same time period. So sometimes when you get a collection in, that can help you learn how to date items, because you got a guy who collected for 8 years. And it doesn't necessarily mean everything's from that 8-year period, but you can start to go, okay, this is probably where it dates. Probably doesn't have anything from the 40s, probably doesn't have anything in the last 5 years. So that's one way we can date stuff, by tassel and by what collection it came in. And last up, Memphis Grizzlies, real nice pennant, a little bit of staining on the edges, but no big deal. A little bit of creasing, but again, no big deal. Will display really nicely. The New Mexico State went for 33, and the Grizzlies went for 18. And that's what I got for weekend sales. I'm really happy. I got 100 subscribers. You know, when I started doing the videos, I knew I should do them. And And after listening to Gary Vaynerchuk for 3 months, what he had said was, it'll be really cool because my kids will be able to watch what I did, you know, when I'm gone and they're older. And that's actually what got me to do it. The thought that, you know, my daughter might watch this video 20 years from now and be like, oh, cool, you know, Dad was okay, you know, I mean, I hope that's what she's thinking. But, you know, it is a marketing vehicle, and getting the 100 subscribers. So the daughter thing was getting me to do it, you know, just like if nobody ever watches, then it doesn't matter because my kid's going to watch one day. But now with the 100 subscribers, that allowed me to make a custom URL. So now I can put it on my marketing materials. So instead of YouTube WB12A and another 30 characters, I can just have YouTube Pop Culture Archive. So very happy about that. Really, thank you so much for subscribing. Even if you did it out of pity, I'll take pity. Pity doesn't bother me one little bit. So if you do subscribe, really, thank you so much. You know, it's very helpful for me, and hopefully some of the content I'm giving, some of the information I'm giving you is helpful to you guys too. So thanks again, and have a great day.